Hello there. If you're watching this video, it means you've subscribed to my channel, and I want to thank you very much for doing so. And if you have come back for more, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the more that is here. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching this video, you must immediately put your fingers in your ears, because this is not for you, and press that subscription button, right? Which means you'll have to take one of your fingers out of your ears, but you know, I'm sure you can manage that. So, subscribers, what do you get on this channel? Well, on this channel, I discuss prog, fusion, jazz, sometimes classic rock, and I look at the history of those genres, the musicians involved in those genres. I do interviews with people that have worked within those genres. I do top 10s, rankings, all that type of stuff, and it's all my opinion. I am a musician, a drummer, a producer, and I'm also an educator, and I try and bring that experience onto this channel when I talk about that stuff, right? I also talk about the cultural context within which music's made, and sometimes when I'm talking about that, it's much wider. I look at modern pop music, modern rock music, modern production methods, how the music industry works today. And also, if you're a creative musician and you want to know how to get your music out there, if you search through my videos, you will find a whole ton of videos where I try and help musicians like that to get their art out to the world, all right? So, a few other features I want to tell you about, okay? If you look at the entry to any video description, you'll see some links, right? Especially the new, I've added links as the videos I've been uploading them. So if you check out the most recent video, and this video as well, and you check out the description there, you will see links to my Facebook, where you can connect with me, right? You will see links to my Instagram, where you can connect with me, and there's a whole ton of stuff that I put up on there as well. If you're interested in the music I personally make, not the music I make for bands out there and with deals and all the proper music I make, but if you're interested in my weird music that I make, there's a link to my Bandcamp as well. Please go over and have a listen, because if you like the stuff I cover, you might like the stuff I do on my Bandcamp. And also, you will see a link to my Patreon. My Patreon now has 100 patrons in there, and it's become a really thriving community of really serious music fans and really serious musicians. On there you will find over 100 videos, articles. You will be able to download all the albums on my Bandcamp for free. And also a new feature on the channel is we are now running meetings quite regularly. And in those meetings, I'm bringing in guests from outside so that the patrons can chat directly to the guests, right? In the future, when I interview some of the superstars and legends of fusion, jazz and prog, you will also be invited into some of those, as long as the superstar doesn't mind it, and I'm sure they won't. So if you want to get a chance to chat to your heroes, then go and become a Patreon. And I hope you enjoy it there. The Patreon is really the lifeblood of this channel, and it enables me to do what I do here. And the more patrons I get, the more I can focus on this channel, right? Because I'm this isn't my job. This is something I do because I like doing it. But as time is going on, the channel is growing, and so any support like that really helps. Plus, there's a lovely bunch of people out there. It's a thriving community. It's not one of these patrons where you go and they just stick up a few, you know, old odds and sods that they found in the back of their, you know, wardrobe, or, you know, down the side of the sofa. Or I'll stick a bit of that up. There's a photograph of me in 1973. You know, it's not like that. We've got a whole ton of stuff up there. The tiers on the Patreon are, it's £5 in UK money. I don't know what that is where you are. And they get access to virtually everything on there. If you go to the high tier, then again, we'll do Zoom meetings and one-to-one chats. Some of those people are brilliant, and I really enjoy that. You know, I'll just be able to, you know, hook up with them once a month and have a chat about music. They can ask me questions, all sorts of things. So I'm really trying to create here a community of musicians and music fans so I can support this music I love. I'm not talking about mainstream fusion. I'm not talking about prog like, you know, all the superstar bands. I'm trying to create a space where I can promote this incredible music and, more importantly, cherish it and nurture it, because it's difficult out there for musicians, especially people playing in styles where people play real instruments. That is dying at the moment. The only place it is really surviving is on Instagram and YouTube. And so I have gone from being a sort of musician that makes albums and tours and don't do all that, and I still do that a little bit, but I have moved over to YouTube here. So it's very important that if you can support a channel like mine, because I can't think of another channel that is specifically covering the weird and wacky, wonderful music that I cover here. It's very important that we keep that music alive. If you want to contact me or chat, that's fine. Love it. If you put stuff in the comments, I will try and answer as many comments as I can. And in the early days, I virtually answered every single comment. But as the channel's growing, I'm trying my best to get through them. If you check out the comments, I always have a tongue in my cheek, you know. So people reading through the comments, you might get a bit of a laugh seeing some of the answers I put up, you know, because people get very serious. And a lot of the time, I am just poking fun at stuff and people get all wound up. And I think that's what people like, you know. In this modern world, I think people go to YouTube to get real opinions and a real viewpoint from real people. We know how much the media is now managed and linked into that whole sort of capitalistic world where, you know, there is always an agenda behind what they're telling you. And so I know a lot of you are coming over to people like me where I just say what I think, and I try to say what I think, and that's it really, you know. So if people get upset by it, they get upset by it. The thing I've always said is it is only music, and that's one of the beautiful things about music, is we get to talk about quality in a safe way, okay? And it brings people together. There's nothing like, I mean, I've got friends who are musicians who say politically or philosophically are completely on a different level to me, right? But I love these people because when I get in a room with them and play, they are on the same level as me, and we have a same, there's something between everybody that brings us together. I think this is one of the great things about music. It brings us together. And one of the great things about jazz is that bringing of togetherness that's in jazz actually is embedded into the structure of jazz, which I think is a wonderful thing. Music really is a wonderful thing. So I hope now you've sort of subscribed and you've got a little bit more interested in what I do. I hope this video has been some help to you. And if you are watching this video and you have any suggestions about the channel, then put them in the comments. One last thing before I go. This morning I've created 2 playlists on Spotify. You'll find them in the links again to the description of this video. That I've created a playlist for prog, and I've created a playlist for fusion. They're very important. If everybody who subscribed to this channel was to go and like those playlists so they could see what was on it, that would enable me to have a way of distributing all this incredible music, which means up and coming fusion bands can sort of message me. I can give them a spotlight on the channel and I can stick their stuff in that playlist. It's really important to get the music out there. There's so much out there at the moment that it's very difficult to become attached to new music. And I think especially someone of my age, I love all those albums I've been listening to for 40 years, but when I go and delve into Spotify, it's like there's so much stuff out there and it's incredible. I've been quite critical of modern prog and modern fusion, and people think that I think there is no good out there at all. It's not that. I think there's loads of good out there, but because those genres have in a way become at least somewhat constrictive and gatekeepery, anyone who's doing anything left field, weirder or whatever, it's really hard for them to find a way through. And if you are a musician watching this channel and you're sending me my stuff, that's the stuff I love, right? I don't want to hear the Mavi structure. I don't want to hear Weather Report. I don't want to hear Genesis. I don't want to hear King Crimson. I don't want to hear any more Dream Theater, right? I want to hear something where I go, oh, that's great. Doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. All it has to do is just have that little pinch of spice in there where you go, God, that's brilliant. You know, a little bit of individuality, and that's what I'm trying to promote on this channel. So I think I have got to the end of my little speech for my subscribers, right? Again, I want to thank you very much. 2 years ago when I started doing videos here, I never thought it would get to this level with 15,000 subscribers. You know, that's an incredible thing. But the trouble is now, I've got the bit between my teeth and I want to take it all the way, you know. So Adam Neely, Rick Beato, watch out. Andy's on the way. Andy's on the way. And he's bringing fusion and prog.